What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Movie Shit, a podcast about movies and shit. Today, obviously, we're discussing Oppenheimer. I'm joined by my good friends Tyler and Mike. How are you guys doing?
I'm just fantastic.
Yeah, just great, just fantastic. So you guys saw it in IMAX, and I saw it in IMAX as well. So let me get your hot takes. What's your initial thoughts? Tyler, you first.
I thought the movie was beautiful. It was really well done, really well written.
Yeah.
It had my attention the entire 3 hours. It's really hard to do that. I just thought the movie was overall just another Christopher Nolan masterpiece.
I was gonna say I should preface this with we're all pretty big Christopher Nolan fans, right, Mike? Would you say that?
Yeah, definitely my favorite actor of all time.
Director.
Yeah, director.
Not Cillian Murphy.
Close second with him and Tarantino is they can do no wrong in my mind.
Oh yeah, I don't know, man. I took Charlie to see. I guess we saw that on film. It was 35, not 70 millimeter, but we saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood whenever we were in Nashville. Fucking fell asleep, dude. She fell asleep like that. Gone. Which
That's a great movie too.
It's good. It's not my favorite of his for sure.
Yeah,
I think my favorite.
Flow.
Yeah, it's a slow burn. I think my favorite of his was Inglourious Bastards. But yeah, so Mike, you want to be a history teacher, and you're a military man. Ty, you're in the National Guard, and you're like a World War II kind of buff, right?
Oh yeah, love that stuff.
Yeah, so I went into this without knowing anything. I didn't even know who really Oppenheimer was. I was like, fucking, what is this? And then through the trailers, I was like, okay, so he's the guy that made the atomic bomb. Big deal. But I loved that one scene when he's like, is anybody ever going to learn the truth about this? I was like, ooh, this is gold. Right, yeah. But yeah, so Ty, World War II wise, what, was it did they talk about Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the motivation for the United States and stuff? Did they talk about that enough for you, or was the
I didn't. That's one thing I wish the movie would have added. Is just his reaction to the news, seeing him read the newspaper or something. I know that wasn't in his book and stuff because I really dove deep into the research on him before I watched the movie because
they're
talking about the black holes. I was telling Mike, they're about to tell you about the black holes here. That's what they're researching right now because he was one of the first guys to
theorize it.
Right. I wish they would have done that, though. That's one thing I did tell Mike when we was leaving. I wish they would have showed his reaction to the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs and just, kind of get the feeling of the world at that time, and especially the guy who came up with the bomb itself. So this is one thing I think they missed.
Yeah, I mean, the time jump. Mike, what did you think about how they handled it?
Yeah, me and Tyler actually talked about it leaving the movie theater, and it was we said the same. If we were going to say anything negative about the movie, it was that they didn't show the two bombs being dropped. But then we were like, well, that's the reason it's named Oppenheimer. It's all about Oppenheimer, not necessarily the atomic bombs. Yeah, but I will say the one thing that is still bothering me, I nudged Tyler and was like, well, that's historically inaccurate.
Oh shit, what was it?
Well, they had when they're when Oppie's coming out and they're all applauding him, they're in the gym, they're stomping and
yeah. It was basically the climax, other than the bomb.
Yeah, the flags they're waving have 50 stars. We didn't have 50 stars on our flag until 59 when Alaska was a state.
Ah, interesting. Hey, I mean that's a historical discrepancy. It's important to get details like that right. So that's interesting. I didn't even think about that. What was it? Not 1917, but shit. What was the World War I movie that just came out last year? I feel like World War I's the fad now, as opposed to World War II.
Yeah.
What was it?
Quiet on the Western Front.
Thank you. Yes. So they were pretty historically accurate, right, Mike? Did you catch anything there?
Oh yeah. No, I thought that movie was better than Oppenheimer, if I'm being honest, but it was perfect.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean,
hot take of the podcast.
Well, the thing was, yeah, go ahead.
10 out of 10.
It was. I mean, they're both. As far as I'm concerned, they're both 10 out of 10s.
Yeah, I mean, I can say that too, but it was a little slower than Oppenheimer. It didn't have my attention the entire time. I'll say that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They're both completely two different cinematic registers, right? The thing about Oppenheimer is that with like the trailers, you get like the chong, 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 and you're like, what does this mean? But when you watch the movie, it's a fucking runaway train the entire goddamn time. Like, there's no I think it's probably gonna take the Oscar for best editing, only because fucking we're all Christopher Nolan like fans here or whatever. So both of you guys saw Interstellar, right?
Right.
So this is
wonderful movie.
Yeah, this is the same director of photography. So he works with Wally Fisher for a while. Now he's on Hoyt van Hoyman, who did Interstellar, Dunkirk, and I think he did Nope as well. But so that scene in Interstellar, whenever he like Matthew McConaughey, spoiler alert for Interstellar, when he falls through like the cracks of reality and they're cutting back and forth between all the different timelines. They're going from like when Murph is like a kid, and then him stuck there, and then like back and forth on the farm when she's an adult and shit. So like that was really fucking quick cutting, and that's this entire movie. It was just like, you know what, fuck it.
Lots of quick shot, quick editing.
There's so much like the shots. It's a 3-hour long movie. There's hardly a shot that lasts longer than 2 fucking seconds. I was sitting there like timing it. I was like, oh my god, we're just going. All right, cool. We're going to this. Even if it's just characters sitting around and talking, it's 2 angles of fucking Robert Downey Jr. and then a reaction shot of Cillian Murphy. Like, it's just back and forth the whole fucking time.
I didn't even realize that was the same guy either, though, because it makes sense. I mean, that was the one saving grace to that god awful movie that was Nope.
Oh my god, fuck off.
Cinematography. It was so bad.
Whatever. Go back. Hey, listeners, go back and listen to the podcast. He didn't say that at the time. He didn't say it was awful. But all right, Ty, go ahead.
I said I didn't like it, though.
One more thing I want to add to Oppenheimer is I wish they would have mentioned Little Boy and Fat Man were the names of the bombs.
I know. Yeah. When they hauled them away. So I'm not a super big like history buff. So I fucking, in my mind, for some reason, I'm thinking to get it on not a B-52, whatever the fucking bombing carriers are. Didn't they like put it into like warhead fashion with like fins and shit for aerodynamics, or did they just literally just drop the balls?
They did, yeah.
Jesus, I was thinking in that scene too, like, thank God I'm not the 88 Mike, which is military jargon for truck driver.
Oh my God.
Driving those things
Holy
around.
shit, are you kidding me? He had to go like 5 miles an hour for like fucking thousands of miles, whatever, to get back to Washington.
Yeah.
Those guys probably didn't know exactly what they were driving either at that time.
Oh, I'm sure they had no idea what was in the bed of those trucks.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Why would you tell them?
They drove these small towns that they were driving through with these things.
Yeah, fucking whatever. I think of whatever the train derailment that just happened that spilled all that radioactive shit in like Oklahoma. Where was it? I forget. It just happened recently. Ohio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So like.
Ohio. Yeah.
It was Ohio, yeah. Fuck, man. I don't know. The military just, like, does stuff. Like, that's the whole thing of this movie. So, what did you guys think about, I thought it was going to hit harder on the morality issue of him thinking about, like, oh, obviously they're going to fucking use this. Like, obviously they're going to fucking kill these hundreds of thousands of fucking people. I mean, we're the only country that has used an atomic weapon or whatever. But like you said, it's called Oppenheimer, so they kind of just focused on him and his life and stuff. And also, was he that hot? like
he's a sexy man.
Cillian Murphy's gorgeous. I get lost in his eyes, obviously. But was Oppenheimer that hot? I'm like, how the fuck is this physicist pulling all these women? This isn't the Big Bang Theory.
I think in Peaky Blinders, he's way more. Well, not way more, but he's like more jacked though.
Is he?
Me and Tyler was talking about, it's like he has sunken trap muscles in this movie.
Well, he was supposed to get skinny. That was part of the movie because Oppenheimer lost a lot of weight from the stress.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
And like they went completely in like historical.
Christopher Nolan, man, he always does that shit. Like fucking Christian Bale gains all the weight for fucking Batman and like loses it all. Like
he went from the Machinist to freaking Batman.
I think there's Oppenheimer got down to like 98 pounds at one point.
Holy shit! Really?
Like he worried himself sick.
Jesus Christ! I'll tell you what, there hasn't been a movie that made me want a cigarette more though. Every fucking shot, every fucking shot of Oppenheimer smoking that cigarette, I was like, "Ooh, that looks good." Oh, he's focused up, man. Look at him. Him and his fucking big ass pipe. The whole silhouette when he finally puts on the hat. That scene where they're like, he's like, "Take off that fucking uniform. You're not a soldier. You're a scientist. Act like it or whatever." And he puts the hat on. I was like, "Shit, man. Do I need to get one of those fucking hats and a big ass pea coat? I love this shit."
I wish we dressed like that still.
One thing about it too is the cast was so like extravagant and big name, and they all like did super well in the movie too. Like nobody was let down.
The thing is like they had huge fucking names come in for like 2 seconds, 2 fucking seconds. Gary Oldman played Truman.
Yeah.
How are you gonna get Gary fucking Oldman for one scene?
I didn't realize that was him. I mean,
yeah,
it
exactly.
looked like Gary Oldman.
That's because it's Gary Oldman, baby.
Matt Damon did amazing too.
Yeah,
he did good.
Leslie Groves,
really good. Yeah.
He did great.
Tidbit in there I wanted to talk about a little was they added Boris Pash in there, and they didn't talk about him enough. Michael knows this.
I don't know who that is.
The guy, the general that he pretty much lied to, that he was on trial for, like at the end. He was one of the guys, and they mentioned Heisenberg at the beginning. They showed him in the first one of the first scenes. Boris Pash was the leader of the regiment that hunted down Heisenberg. Just a quick tidbit: they had both of those in that movie, which I thought was really cool from a historical perspective, because it shows Pash being what he was before then. He was like this. I don't know how you say it. He was just very flamboyant, and he was always trying to rattle, rock the boat.
He was eccentric. He was very eccentric.
Oh yeah.
Leslie Groves, he took him out of the Manhattan Project entirely and sent him to go after Heisenberg, and he accomplished that task.
Oh shit.
So that's pretty cool if you think about it.
It is pretty cool. That's that could be a whole separate movie of itself.
Yeah, he could have his own movie because he was a big part of the Manhattan Project and hunting down the communism of Oppenheimer, and he also hunted down the main physicist in Germany, Heisenberg.
Yeah, I like as soon as it showed like Niels Bohr. So obviously I think there's some artistic liberties taken with this. It's not entirely historically accurate. Do you think that Oppenheimer put the cyanide in that fucking apple at the very beginning?
I don't know.
I was
based
like,
on the book, and I haven't read that.
I was
book.
I was wondering the same thing. If he did that.
I'm like, that's fucking insane. Why would he do that? Fucking trying to kill Niels Bohr, like one of his fucking heroes. Oh, well, he wasn't trying to kill him. He was trying to kill his professor, but still.
I've had some professors that like to inject some cyanide in their apples.
Right. Well, it's in an apple. Apples always have a trace amount of cyanide. I don't know. Maybe it was just a bad apple. How about them apples?
I think that was like one of the only 2 humorous scenes in that whole movie too, when he just, like snatches the apple and is like,
"As a worm,
what do you say?
Wormhole." Yeah.
Wormhole.
That's also a physics joke. It works on levels. We got multiple levels there.
Right. Oh, there we go.
Leslie Groves was like the comedic effect in the movie, or Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon was a comedic effect for sure.
Yeah.
He's like, "What do you expect from theory alone?" He's like, "0 would be nice."
Yeah, 0.
I went to a party Saturday night, and they were talking about the difference between the size of an atom bomb and then the ones that we actually dropped, and then like an H bomb or whatever. And obviously, it's like fucking whatever, 100 times different or 1,000 times different, whatever the case may be. Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't we have like nuclear weapons that are way stronger than the H bomb now?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm not 88, but I'm sure.
I would assume so.
I've heard we've got enough nuclear bombs to destroy the Earth like 100 times over.
That's what I think. I think like 3 of them would do it, and there's like 1,000 in circulation or something.
Yeah, it wasn't a hydrogen. It wasn't either. It was obviously not an atomic bomb. But you remember a couple years ago we dropped a Moab, and that was a gigantic just bomb.
Who did we drop it? No, I don't know this. Oh, Mother of all bombs. Who did we drop it on?
It was that bunker in Syria, right?
Like, Syria.
Like they cleared an entire like 2. I don't know. It was a super deep bunker.
Like 10.
On it.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't remember.
The bunker buster, baby. It busts the bunker underneath the bunker that you just fucking dug. That's what I like to hear about the military. But yeah, I'd say it wouldn't get, like, the movie didn't really get existential and as far as like the discussion of humanity and stuff until like the very end. And let me say, all the scenes with Albert Einstein, I fucking loved. He's such a sweetie pie. I was like, oh, little Albert, and he just called him Al. He's like, Albert, Al. I'm like, can't say the full thing.
All right.
And I do like the justification. Christopher Nolan helped like write the script, but so Oppenheimer was Jewish, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing. Is he's like, it's a choice of a lesser evil. Hi. He's like, what you guys doing? The justification of like we're talking about bombs, bro. We're talking about megadeth. We're talking about kilotons, megatons. That one scene, I was like, did you just make up the term kiloton on the spot?
I loved how it all boiled down to Robert Downey Jr.'s character
Strauss
was pissed off at Oppenheimer because he thought that he turned Albert. He thought that he pissed Albert Einstein off at him.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yep.
It's like, I know he turned him against me. Like, why didn't you just ask?
He knows his own. Yeah, right.
Next level petty right there. Next level petty. My kind of petty.
Super petty.
Dude, that's, yeah. Do you guys watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I don't.
So, do you remember, like, the escape room? The escape room episode whenever, whenever they're just around the table, banging the table, it's like, oh, yes, we're men. We delegate. This is what we do. We designate a leader and whatever. And I was like, that's this whole fucking movie. It's just a huge pissing contest between everybody or whatever. And like, yeah, just at that time, I'm glad they, mentioned the years and stuff. So what do you think I saw some significance between, what do you think the significance of, some of it's in color and some of it's in black and white? What do you, Ty, what do you think the significance of those two different kinds of styles are?
It seemed like the stuff that was in color was more focused on the bomb, and the black and white was more focused on like
the trial
dialogue
or whatever,
and the the talking of that's not involved in what the process of building the bomb. To me, I don't know. I don't notice a lot of stuff like that, but I just remember every scene Robert Downey Jr. it seemed like was in black and white.
Pretty much black and white. Yeah. Mike, what'd you think?
Yeah, it was like it was weird because the black and white stuff was in the present. And the colored stuff was what happened in the past.
Was his, like, recounting of it, yeah. So the thing I saw was, like, the color stuff, what Christopher Nolan said, he said the color stuff was supposed to be subjective, and the black and white stuff is supposed to be objective, which means
that's what I was going to say, yeah.
Everything that's in black and white is on the record and the history of the United States somewhere.
Yeah.
And then, like, the color stuff is, like, whatever, just
I didn't know.
It's like hearsay or something, or like Oppenheimer, like, from his perspective or whatever.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a quick question. So I thought I saw this. I may have imagined it. So Florence Pugh's character, his side piece, as Mike referred to her affectionately, does she kill herself, or did somebody murder her for being like a communist and influencing Oppenheimer?
She killed herself.
She killed herself. I saw the pillows getting stacked, and they cut back to that a couple of times. Like next to the bathtub, but I thought I saw a leather glove push her head down, and I was like, "Am I imagining this?" It was like real quick.
I thought the same thing, but then Oppie talks about the letter. And
yeah, that there was a note, but I was like, "Did somebody fucking force her to write the note?" Like
that's true. Somebody could have forced that note on her. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. That's a good question.
So,
one to maybe it was a hypothetical, but. Of course, me and Michael talked about this like 3 times during the movie.
What?
Josh is the one who detonates the bomb.
Loved it.
Peck.
Josh Peck, yeah.
What I thought, what would have been so funny? What if it would have happened? He just hits the button and it blows up in his face, and he just looks over and the screen says Megan.
Oh my God! Shut up! Get the fuck out of here! Jesus, I know.
Cracks me up.
I saw a tweet that was like, Christopher Nolan needs guys to play emotional depth. I got the perfect motherfucker from Nickelodeon right here.
It was so funny to me that he's the one that detonates the bomb.
God.
Yeah, that scene though, going back to that scene, like my heart was racing. Like I know what's about to happen, and like the music.
Yeah.
And
that's what the whole fucking movie's like building up to. Yeah.
And my heart's just sitting here doing this. I felt myself like feeling it. It's like just 100 beats per second easily. It felt like, and I'll probably be dead if that was really the case.
No, 100's fine. As long as you don't break 140. You break 140, you got cholesterol problems.
But yeah, I thought that scene was like just so incredibly well done.
Yeah. What I didn't
edge of your seats type stuff.
What I didn't expect was that it was going to be quiet at first. I was like, oh, here comes the bomb, baby. Let's go. Fucking silence, man. silence over the entire goddamn theater. How was y'all's like audience reaction whenever that happened?
It was. I mean, you could tell everybody was holding their breath and their piss. I told you my story. Like 4 of us, as soon as it dropped, and their reaction, it showed the lights, and then the tertiary effect of the blast come at them.
Yeah.
Like 4 of us popped up to go take a piss break.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how they added that too. The wind coming.
Oh
like,
yeah. Then it was loud. Then it was like boom. It was like, oh, you want the boom? Here comes the boom, bitch. And like some of them are facing the other way. And I loved that was another joke that was in it when the what's his name, Teller is like rubbing it in, and he's like, "Is it rubbed in?" And he's like, "Yeah." just all white face.
I would say that bomb too, though, that is very, very realistic. Because like usually when bombs go off, you'll hear like the boom, but then like it's that tertiary blast that comes at you. That's like
with the wind rush. Yeah,
some instances can like open your like all your hollow organs. It can explode them.
What the fuck is a hollow organ? What the fuck are you talking about?
I didn't know that.
Like lungs?
Yeah, like it can literally explode them. The tertiary effects from the blast.
What the fuck? So they're all worried about the chain reaction taking over the world. What about your own fucking lungs, guys? You guys didn't think about? Is nobody a physician here? But
another note I wanted to talk about too was the soundtrack is another Christopher Nolan.
The music's great.
Classic.
Yeah, the music's a banger. I'm gonna try to see if I can find who did it. I looked it up earlier.
Ludwig,
was it
something maybe?
Something.
There was I don't really.
He usually gets Hans Zimmer for his older movies, but he hasn't recently. He's been getting somebody else.
I didn't really notice the music. If I'm being 100% honest.
What? The music fucking makes that movie, man.
That one. There's one scene that's been in my head. The music's been in my head. I've been listening to it on YouTube.
Oh, really? Is it the?
It comes on and off a few times in the movie.
There's just music constantly blasting throughout So obviously everybody thinks that the bomb is gonna be music. Yeah, Ludwig Göransson. Yeah, you nailed it. Everybody thinks the bomb is going to be the climax of the movie. I didn't feel that way. I felt like the climax. So like the military or whatever used this Oppenheimer to accelerate the speed of them like making this bomb, and I really liked the visual gag they had with the marbles, putting the marbles in the thing. Like this is how much the United States in these separate locations in these big ass cities have refined of this material and that material. Or whatever. And so I assume one's Fat Man and one's Little Boy, and they used the excess for the test, right? Or am I wrong?
I can't say for sure, but that sounds correct.
It sounds right.
So you think the bomb's going to be the fucking big, like, payoff, but it's not. It's really the trial whenever you come back to fucking Robert Downey Jr.'s character with Strauss.
Yeah, it seemed like he intentionally broke the movie up into hour thirds.
Yeah.
And the last third was just the trial.
Was it?
I mean, that last hour, because the bomb drops around the 2-hour mark.
Oh, that's when you had to go piss.
Yeah, I went and pissed. I came back. I asked Tyler, I said, did anything happen? He said, no. Like, the military is at that point loading the bombs up.
Gotcha.
And then he blasts the announcement over the radio of it.
Puts the microphone,
and the rest of the film from that point on is all bureaucratic stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch that it was the last hour. That last hour went by so fucking quick. Felt like 20 minutes or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really like how, so like in a movie that sounds like it would be fucking boring. Like, you know the story. Like the United States fucking like whatever. Makes the bomb, beats the Germans, beats the Russians or whatever to the punch or whatever, right? And then like, it sounds so fucking boring, but the way they like cut it up, the way it happens like so fast, and like the whole little, it's not even like a real trial. It's not a prosecution. He's like, oh, so a prosecutor. He's like everything but in name. It just goes to show you the amount of like bullshit that politicians are willing to do to further their agenda, because it's all about him getting appointed to the cabinet. I'm like, fucking who fucking cares? Like the cabinet's just like a panel of advisors. Like the president doesn't necessarily have to listen to you. And I'm glad they name dropped Kennedy at the end too.
Yes, I love that. I love that little nugget.
Yeah, he's like, he didn't like what he did to Oppenheimer. Yeah. Just because he like kept an eye on it so closely. So I'm sure everybody, I guess at the time, everybody in the United States kept a pretty close eye on it, right?
We did get the dad from Mike when he said that. I remember that.
What?
He said JFK. He said John Kennedy. Michael said, huh.
God damn it.
That's one of only 2 Catholics in our nation's history, all right? Figure that.
Oh, shit. Is Biden the other one?
Biden's the only other one.
What? That's crazy. I mean, I guess the country was founded on Protestants. The whole point was to get away from the church and do a separation of church and state.
Yeah, it's mostly Episcopal back in the day.
Yeah.
Episcopal.
So, did this movie make you feel, like, patriotic? Like, I feel like people that watch it now, I'm like, do you guys see, like, the whole thing was, he was like, America has to get there first. We have to get there first. Because if the Nazis get there first, we're all fucked. You know? That's pretty much what he said. He's like, I can't. He's like, it doesn't matter. He's like, I know they're going to weaponize it. But, like, if the Nazis do it first, it's going to be the doom of the entire world or whatever. And I'm like, you guys, Americans should take note. Like, Nazis are bad, okay? Like, I think.
I mean, I'm super patriotic, but
obviously,
what I love about it, I love the movie that it really shows. They emphasize multiple times we are 18 months behind the Nazis.
Yeah,
the Nazis. We're 18. They are killing the Jews. They're killing my people. We are behind them.
Yep.
But like, what a lot of people when they think of America, they think of the military might. But what they don't realize, what makes America such a powerful country, is our industrial might.
Yeah.
And the ability to, you're 18 months ahead, but our industry, we will catch up.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, our ability to streamline stuff. He's like, build a town, build it fast. I remember that line in the trailer, and I was like, oh, man, I wonder how long they're going to, if it's going to be a montage, they're going to focus on it. It was like 2 or 3 shots. It was super fucking quick whenever they set up in Los Alamos or whatever. I'm like, good. All the stuff that I thought they would focus on in this movie, they didn't. They just fucking, it moves so quick, it just blows past fucking everything. I'm like, hell yeah, this is what I wanted.
They built a town in Oak Ridge as well. They didn't really highlight that a lot.
California?
Yeah, in Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee.
Oak Ridge, Tennessee. That's up towards the Knoxville area, and then they built a little shanty in Chicago as well. I mean, they did a lot in a short amount of time.
I know. I saw, whenever he's, doing, the chalkboard or whatever, he's like, this region's going to do this region's going to do that, this city, or whatever. And, all connected by, railroad. He's like, so why don't we fly? And he's like, well, we can't risk that. We gotta go by train or whatever. He's like, flying would be faster.
A lot of it didn't get highlighted. A lot of people don't realize that. That's that YouTube video I sent y'all before we watched it. I don't know if y'all watched it or not, but a lot of the women were responsible for making all our uranium.
Really?
In Oak Ridge, yeah. It was a big force of women who got all their uranium made for us. He was putting the marbles in the fishbowl.
Yeah.
That was the amount of uranium.
Uranium was the smaller one, or
the bigger one?
The bigger one. Okay.
Bigger one.
And the women, the
plutonium was the smaller one.
Plutonium. That's right.
Part World War II. That's
what's it? Betty River Betty, whatever.
There was women's a lot of
Rosie the River. Sorry. Yeah, man.
Cool.
They didn't really focus on what the women are doing. Did you guys catch any significance when he's like, bring in the sheets, leave out the sheets? I was like, huh? What does this mean?
That was code word.
He said it a couple times.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what the fuck that means.
In other words, if you bring out your laundry, you're safe. I think that's what it meant.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like, bring in the sheets, we're moving again or something.
I thought that's what it was. I don't know.
One time he said leave the sheets out.
Yeah.
The other time he said bring the sheets in.
So during that, I love that, obviously, when he's like, it's not going to be a fair fight. Like, these guys have your file, and they have, all these documents, all these recordings, all these, transcripts and shit. And meanwhile, his fucking people just have, legal pads. That's it. They're taking notes as they go. I thought that was really interesting. But also, during that, so one of the big things, I'd say, was, security clearance. He was like, it was basically the renewal of his like security level or whatever, which would give him like validity as an American scientist and like with his government works and stuff. But he admitted to cheating on his wife in that little deposition that had no legal recourse. I'm like, bro, I wouldn't have done that shit.
That scene was wild.
The scene was wild.
It shows him riding her right in front of the wife.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Yeah.
Great scene though. Great scene.
Florence Pugh, man, she fucking kills it, and Emily Blunt too. They fucking kill it. But yeah, I was bringing that back. So yeah, like Tyler said, there really wasn't a focus a lot on the ladies in this one. Which I mean, you know, whatever, it's fine. It's expected.
I think the primary it was just I don't think there was a lot of focus on anyone
other than Oppenheimer. Yeah,
and a little bit of Strauss. Strauss played a pretty big role, but
yeah.
Like Oppenheimer was front and center. Even when they're doing the deposition and they're talking to other people, the camera is on Oppenheimer.
Yep.
In that back chair.
It's a lot of slow punch-ins on that. That's whenever you get a break from some of the fucking shots going so quickly. And so yeah, obviously they put this on film in like a print version, and I'm like, there's no fucking way you guys edited this on film because that shit's so fucking quick. It's like 48 fucking pictures. You edited it digitally and then printed it afterwards because it would be a goddamn nightmare to move it that fast. And so much tape.
Your knowledge, Raj, because I was trying to explain it to Tyler, but I know you could probably explain it away. Isn't there only like 9 theaters in America that are truly like true IMAX?
Yeah, Charlie was trying to say that to me the other day. It's like whatever so IMAX, you can say it's like an IMAX projector if it has like four projector heads or whatever, and like each of them meet a certain resolution. But yeah, IMAX like has to be a certain like feet tall. You saw it in Huntsville, right?
Yeah. We saw it in the IMAX in Huntsville, but I told Tyler, I said, this is probably not true IMAX.
I think
there's only 9.
It's, yeah. So, like, this movie, I think, is playing on IMAX and film in 25 locations or something. Yeah, true IMAX is just fucking, it's just big. Like, that's the whole thing. It's like, so if you go, you can call it IMAX. So, like, the Dome in Huntsville at the Space and Rocket Center can call itself IMAX, but it's not real IMAX because it has to meet like a certain height requirement and a certain width requirement. And so like that, the little stinger that's like, oh, see a movie or believe it. It's supposed to be all in. Yeah, I know, fucking whatever. It's supposed to be all encompassing of your like field of vision or whatever. So I don't know. Yeah. I can't tell you what the measurements are, but it's just like way larger of a screen is what makes an IMAX an IMAX. I'm sure Hollywood has the Chinese Theater, Universal Studios Hollywood, and the one we saw it in Burbank. I'm not sure if it's huge. I think it's an actual IMAX, but so there's like, you know, maybe 5 in Hollywood or something. Three or 4 or 5 or something.
You got 5 in your city. I had to drive an hour to go to one.
Well, great. There you go. I mean, it's Hollywood, baby.
Hollywood.
Yeah. I mean, you guys don't see. There's fucking advertisements.
We got more rednecks here.
There's advertisements here for everything that comes out. So like, Disney in particular reupholsters fucking billboards and shit so fucking quick here. Like, as soon as the opening weekend's over, they're on to the fucking next one here. It's on the sides of buses. We got pink benches for Barbie. We got like the Netflix sign on fucking Sunset Boulevard. Like, there's so much advertising here. There's whole sides of buildings that are promoting the next Netflix thing. Do you remember when Space Force came out with Steve Carell?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was all over the side of an entire, like, 70-story building here.
Boy, that sucked.
Yeah. I'm, like, fucking terrible. But, yeah. So, like, just movies are, like, a whole, like, separate culture here for sure. But, yeah. So, let's talk about Christopher Nolan movies. Let's rank. Where do you think Oppenheimer falls? I think, so, like, this was less confusing. This was more, I think his format works. So if you saw Insomnia, did you guys see Insomnia?
That's what I haven't seen.
It's Al Pacino, Robin Williams. It's a remake of some like movie from the 80s. But that's another movie where like his cuts are so fucking quick. Like they're so quick and they move like really fucking fast. And Al Pacino fucking method acted and didn't sleep for 5 days because the whole thing was like the movie was supposed to be shot in Alaska during the time where the sun never sets. Anyways, so where do you guys see this in terms of Christopher Nolan movies? I liked it more than Tenet just because Tenet was kind of confusing for me.
Yep.
I liked it more than Dunkirk just because Dunkirk was kind of whatever. I mean, the whole point of Dunkirk was like it's like nameless people. What is Dunkirk? Is that D-Day or is that Mike? What battle is that?
That's Normandy. That's when they save them. That's when they save
Normandy.
The British troops.
Yeah. So you don't really get to know any
Yeah.
of the characters' names and shit. They just like fucking go. Like it's just like a war movie. But I think this fell short. I mean, The Prestige is my favorite of his. Ty, what do you think?
I was not prepared for this question.
Well, just think, man.
Of course, it's a merge of everything that I really enjoy. World War II history, like you said, Christopher Nolan movies. Cillian Murphy, I love Peaky Blinders, so
Yeah.
he's one of my favorite actors now.
Which I haven't seen Peaky
But
Blinders.
It still don't stand up to Dark Knight Rises to me. I mean, not Dark Knight Rises, it's Dark Knight. to
Dark
me.
Knight. Okay. All right.
That's just one of those movies I absolutely love and will always love because
I
it's
think-
Batman. Don't roll your eyes, Michael.
I think The Dark Knight's above it for me as well.
Dark Knight. I really, really, really love Interstellar, but I would say they're 2A and 2B.
Okay.
This movie I really, really, really enjoyed.
This one's a good one.
They're just behind Dark Knight.
Yeah. It's above Batman Begins.
Oh yeah, and The Dark Knight Rises for me. But The Dark Knight would be above it in my opinion.
Yeah, Dark Knight's pretty hard to beat. Mike, what do you think?
I think so. My favorite, I'm like you. The Prestige is his best.
Yeah.
By far. Just 'cause, Tyler, did you ever watch The Prestige?
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
It's my favorite movie,
Yeah,
bro.
That's one you gotta see. It's awesome. I still think The Dark Knight. And it's my bit. I love The Dark Knight. You both know I love The Dark Knight. I think it's one of the most overrated films ever, though. Because when
Just
people
because
talk
of
about The Dark Knight, it's always, it's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
I think it was the greatest Joker that will ever be, but not the best Batman ever.
Whoa! Hey, hold on! Not the best Batman movie ever? Is that what you just
Not
said?
the best not the best Batman movie. I think Christian
shit.
Bale was the best Batman,
Ah.
but not the best Batman movie ever.
Yeah, Ty, have you watched The Batman yet?
I'm truly offended. I actually watched it 2 days ago.
What'd you think?
I thought it was better.
It was fantastic. Robert Pattinson is a great Batman, but I do not like my Bruce Wayne looking emo. Bruce Wayne is not emo looking.
Yeah,
he
Bruce-
don't have long hair. He's clean cut. The Batman character always has respected what Bruce Wayne does for him. This Batman character does not give a rip about Bruce Wayne. I did not like that.
That's true.
So that's why I didn't like it. But I would still give that movie a 9.5 out of 10. Probably. He's a great Batman. The fight scenes are awesome. Catwoman was awesome. The villains, Riddler was really, really well done. I could go on and on about that. They usually make the Riddler kind of a joke. I guess
The Batman
necessary.
is the best Batman movie because of what Matt Reeves does with Gotham.
Yeah, Gotham's great. It's just really dark, and this is crime riddled like it's supposed to be.
We're getting off topic because like the Dark Knight's version of Gotham is basically New York,
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
so it doesn't really have that much of a personality.
I think it was probably his third or fourth best.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Which
I like it better than I think it's better than Interstellar. Interstellar was good, but it's kind of like with you with Tenet. It was just like, what the heck is even going on at this
yeah,
point?
I'd have to rewatch Interstellar. It might be better than Interstellar. I'll tell you what.
The water planet scene, and that's crazy to me. I just it's one of those scenes that it's always in my mind for some reason. When they get on the planet where there's nothing but tsunamis and crap, it's just awesome for me for some reason. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say Interstellar definitely moves slower than Oppenheimer. Like I'm just so fucking shocked at how, because like Avengers Endgame is the only other like 3-hour movie for me that just fucking flew by.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll call it a day there, fellas. Thank you so much for joining me and talking about Oppenheimer and its historical significance and its discussions of morality and stuff and how handsome Cillian Murphy is. What's upcoming that you guys would hop on for? Is there anything?
Gotta go see Barbie.
Gotta go see Barbie, baby.
No, for real though, Thursday, Talk to Me. It's dropping.
Oh yeah,
That's when I
shit!
gotta see
I might have you back for Talk to Me. I know. So Charlie and I saw it like a week ago or something.
Yeah.
And Charlie saw Barbie like a fucking month ago.
And you know I love you, Raj, and you're my best friend forever. But anytime you tell me an A24 movie is great, I have to take that with a grain of salt.
Oh yeah. Oh, go.
I know you're an A24 fanboy.
I'm an A. Well, so the thing is, so right now we'll tie this in. You know, there's a actor strike and a writer strike happening right now.
Yeah.
There's one production company that has met all of the demands and can continue to shoot their productions for their actors, their writers, everything, because it pays them enough. Guess who it is?
A24.
A24, baby. A24.
Well, I could see that because when you're writing stuff like bodies,
Oh
you
my
probably
God.
don't earn much.
Get the fuck out of here. That's, yeah. All right, whatever. Go watch. There's a documentary on Netflix that's all about deep sea divers. Hey, Zeke, what's up?
What's up, play?
What's up, playa? Hi. There's a documentary on Netflix that's produced by A24. It's all about like single breath diving. You know what I'm talking about?
Ooh.
Like
Yeah.
they dive like fucking two football fields down into the fucking ocean where you can't see shit and come back up on a single breath. That one's really good.
Jeez.
It's called The Deepest Breath. It's really good. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and thank you for listening to Movie Shit.